Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. All I have to say is she's back. The one and only Anna Kelley. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Michael. It's so good to be back with you.
Yes. I miss talking with you. The audience misses you. I think it's been a month. You are out living life by design. Again, something you've done on purpose and you've shared with us many times. So I am very, very happy for you. I follow you on Facebook and whatnot. So it was awesome to see you out and about, getting all over this great country with your family. So we missed you, but I'm really also glad you had some time for yourself. So very cool.
Thank you so much. This is what living life by design is all about. And it's really why I love real estate more than anything, that passive income that allows work to be optional, right? And it allows us to work from anywhere. And when you build up the right portfolio and you automate and systematize as much as you can, you actually get paid even when you're not there and not showing up to do it. And so for us, when I retired from AIG, which Michael, believe it or not, has been over 3 years now, right?
Wow, we've been doing this together for 3 years. That's crazy.
Or you know what? I'm wrong. It has been 3 years. It's gone super fast, right?
Yeah.
It's gone super fast. But I decided, you know what? It's time for me to be able to start making memories and traveling and basically benefiting from the fruit of all of the hard work for years and years and years. And so we traveled. We've talked about on the show, we buy vacation rentals very strategically for our lifestyle to allow us to go to different places. We've explored the country for a couple of years, and my kids said, no more cross country. We want to go to the same places every year, no more hotels. So we've bought vacation rentals on our path to Texas and on our path back and near here. And we've been able to stay at 4 of our vacation rentals so far this summer over the last month. And it's all completely paid for, profitable, and pays for our gas, our food, our entertainment, and everything we do there. So I pinch myself every day, but it's also very strategic planning to live my life by design and to buy the assets that are going to help us to do that.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of stuff going on kind of in the economy. We'll talk broad strokes in this video. I want to get into, kind of CPI number in our second video. So we'll table that part of it. But what's going on kind of just generally in the economy? You and I haven't touched base for a month. What are you seeing out there? I see your Facebook posts, which are always so thoughtful. What are kind of the big takeaways from the last month, do you think?
Sure. So everything that you and I have been talking about for 9 months now, at least, is here, right? We've been warning everyone, get ready, get ready, get ready. Get positioned defensively, and then get positioned so that you can go on a purchasing spree, hopefully, if values come down during a recession. So we're here, right? We are really at the cornerstone of what we call stagflation, which is when you have inflation at the same time as decrease in growth, low growth, recessionary type territory. The only exception is that employment is still high and there's a lot of job openings. So that's kind of like this red herring you don't usually see a lot, but we are clearly in stagflationary territory. Recession is on the horizon, and CPI came out today at 9.1% over the last year, which was higher than expectations by about 0.6% that the Fed basically told us. But real inflation of most of the things Americans really spend money on is actually up higher than they estimated. So inflation's a big, big deal, Michael. People feel it. People feel it every day in their pocketbooks. And that's going to make it to where the economy, consumer confidence has tanked, producer confidence has tanked.
Small businesses,
tanked. Construction confidence has tanked. So when you rock the American psyche, and we all feel it day to day, even before these numbers come out, that basically impacts spending. And so there is a significant decrease in demand for almost everything. And because people are now worried, they're finally seeing it, they're feeling it for 9 months or more, spending is pulling back, and that will plunge us deep into a recession. If we're not already in a recession, which we'll know here in the next few days, technically, it's coming, and I think it's going to be deep.
Yeah, I've told my audience, and we'll just share it here one more time in case they missed it. Even if Q2 is a negative GDP, it won't be called a recession. You can't have 6 months of strong job growth with the lowest number being 372,000 additions. You can argue whether those numbers are garbage. It's an irrelevant argument. There's no chance that the 10 economists who are responsible for calling a recession will. The rule of thumb that all the armchair economists talk about, and I'm sure we have mentioned dozens of times individually, 2/4 of negative GDP is a recession. Well, in fact, that's a rule of thumb. It's worked since 1947. 1947 is the last year it didn't work. But there's actually 4 factors, and we'll just hit them again. Producers, industrial production, retail sales, real wages, and employment.
Right.
And employment's been green, really green the last 6 months. And those other 3 numbers were only red a couple of the 6 months. So even if it's negative GDP, it's not going to be called a recession. However, I'm telling my audience that real estate, and we'll get into this in video 2, is going to be the cause of the recession that starts today. It starts in Q3. It won't be called till Q1, but we're in a nasty recession just started right now.
That could very well be true. You know, what they may call a recession just to make us think that they've got a hold of inflation, that they call this, that the recession is going to help us break inflation. Politically, they could do it just to look a little better than not in control of inflation. But it could be that they delay the call. But to your point, there's 3 of those 4 cyclical indicators. They're called cyclical leading indicators. So they talk about what's happening in the short term, 6 to 18 months. 3 of those 4 are recessionary already. The only kind of standout is wages and employment. And really, inflation adjusted wages are down about 3%. So you'll see articles that say, oh, wage growth is here. Well, not when you adjust it by inflation. Job openings are still high. However, they're not being filled and applied for. And part of that, and this is why I think this is kind of this side thing that's a little bit different than true recession or stagflation, is that we have a population demographic decline. So a lot of older people are aging out of employment. A lot of younger people are choosing work optional, or they're living at home. So you have a lot of job openings that may never be filled. And that's just the reality of today.
Yep, she's got her little puppy over there making some noise. That's okay, Anna. Don't worry about it. We like dogs on this channel.
I know we do. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Yeah. So again, just this first video, just again to catch up. When you look at what you've been doing in your business, anything kind of change? Any closings? Any kind of selling? Where are you positioning over the last month? And then we'll get into video 2.
You know, over the last month, I haven't really done a lot, Michael, but we've talked about how I've been positioning myself for the last 9 months. So I sold a bunch of properties that I thought, number one, even good properties, so that I could have some cash. And we can talk about that, potentially in video number 2. Yes, cash is trash during inflation, but cash is also needed to weather economic storms, variable loans that might be reset on properties that values could come down. And it allows me the opportunity to be offensive and buy later. So I sold a bunch of properties. I got out of all variable debt, no credit card debt, no lines of credit, nothing that has a variable rate. I am in. I've gotten out of all of it. I refied all of my properties. If you have not refied and you have a rate that's going to reset, you need to do it now. You've probably got 2 weeks to lock in a rate before the Fed probably takes massive action. We'll talk about that in video number 2. Yeah. But the other thing I'm doing is I'm looking at markets every single day, even on my travels. We preach this on this show. Know your buy box and look at it every single day, at least 4 or 5 days a week, right? I'm looking at the markets I want to invest in, and I'm watching the changes. Oh, price drop, price drop, price drop. When is it a good time? I'm running numbers on deals that might be interesting, and I might put an offer on something today. So I'm buying, but I'm buying deals that cash flow that I think will weather a recession.
Yeah. I've done all the same things. My folks in my audience know that. And again, I hate it when, sometimes I say things might be construed as cocky or whatnot, but it's certainly not meant this way. I am so excited by what's coming. Because we prepared, right? And oh, by the way, you and I've told everybody, get prepared, get prepared, get prepared. Hey, it's on you if you didn't. We are prepared. We've talked about that. And yeah, I'm ecstatic. I'm actually, for the first time, I don't know that you've seen, I'm using mailers. I'm sending mailers. I'm obviously hitting this whole housing crash coming thing.
Yes.
And I'm marketing to duplexes through quads only.
Yes.
And I'm pitching seller financing. So I pulled a list, 60% equity. I'm going to try to do this 50-40-10 that I tell my audience about. I'm going to try to get into as many multifamilies with 10% down, so my stack goes longer.
Yes.
And I'm ecstatic. And then, oh, by the way, I'm going to repeat what I did in my first book, One Rental at a Time. Sometime in the next 12 to 18 months, all these junior or poor syndicators who have this bridge debt with stupid assumptions on rates, cap rates, occupancy, rent are going to bust out.
Yes.
And I'm going to buy some stuff cheap. So I'm going to 1031 out of my houses into those. It's going to be amazing. I look forward to what's coming, but that's because I'm prepared and I look every day.
Me too. And to that point, Warren Buffett says, be fearful when other people are greedy and be greedy when other people are fearful. We only see a true recessionary downturn about once every 10 to 15 years, right? It is what investors live for, to be able to buy low while everyone is motivated and panicking. That's when we come in and that's when we buy. And then we wait for the next 10 years to bring values up and all of the things that we just experienced over the last decade. And so This is a time for you not to get caught up in your emotions. When everybody says, what are you doing? Why are you buying real estate? Real estate is crashing. Do not listen to those people. You want to buy real estate when real estate's crashing, as long as you're going to hold it long-term, right?
Cash flow day one, 30-year debt.
Then if the value keeps going down further, as long as you have 30-year debt and it's cash flowing, you just don't have to sell and you keep it until the values come up.
Yeah, I love catching.
I'm excited too.
Oh, I'm excited. Yeah. So Anna, do me a favor. Where can people find you?
Great. You can find me on social media, Anna Kelley, REI Mom, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and my website, reimom.com.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Anna. Look forward to video number 2. Thanks.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.